everyone, how are you? I hope you're all awesome and amazing and God bless you. So today I wanted to talk about the Immaculate Conception. And I grew up a Protestant, so I didn't know what the Immaculate Conception was. Like, we thought the Immaculate Conception is about Jesus and his birth, that he was born of the Virgin Mary. So if you had asked me what the Immaculate Conception was, I would say, oh yeah, Jesus was born of the Virgin Mary, so, but that's not what it is. And I didn't know what it was until RCIA classes, and I was like, oh, okay. And when the father was explaining it, I was like, well, that makes sense. Like, duh, of course. So the Immaculate Conception is about the Blessed Virgin Mary. And she was born without sin, without original sin. She had absolutely no sin. From the point of her conception. What is conception? When the egg and the sperm meet. Conception. She never had sin, never sinned, nothing like that. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense because she is the mother of God. Now, when we say she's the mother of God, we don't mean like she created God and all this kind of great stuff. We mean that she is the mother of Jesus and Jesus is God. So that's why a lot of times we refer to her as the mother of God. So since the Lord was incarnate of the Virgin Mary and became man, he dwelled within her, right, in her womb for 9 months. And he already existed, right? Jesus already existed. And he was just taking on flesh and becoming man by, being incarnate of the Virgin Mary. So God cannot dwell within sin. Jesus would not be able to dwell within sin because he is God. God hates sin. He came to take away the sins of the world. So he's not going to be able to hang out in sin for, not even if it's 9 months, it doesn't matter. He can't do it for a second. So, because that's totally opposite of him, that's totally against him. And if you look in the Old Testament, the Ark of the Covenant and the tabernacle, the Lord was in the tabernacle, right? But you couldn't just enter there. If you entered there, you'd be dead because of sin, right? Not anybody could just enter any old kind of way. There was like a whole process and everything. So remember, God doesn't change. God is the same. You and I change because we don't know what's going on. But he never changes. He's always the same. He gets it right the first time. Like, he gets it. He understands it. So remember, even though it's the Old Testament, the Old Covenant, he's the same God. So God cannot dwell within sin. Mary is the new Ark of the Covenant, okay? And if you look up some early church, I'll try to put in the description if I can remember. If you look at early church and stuff like that, they believe that she was the new Eve, the new Ark of the Covenant. So the new dwelling place of the Lord. So because of that, and because God cannot dwell within sin, she had to be born without sin. And he preserved her that way from the point of her conception because he knew who his mother was going to be from the beginning, right? So that is what the Immaculate Conception is, and that is why the Blessed Virgin Mary was born without sin, because God cannot dwell in sin. So there's only 2 people that were born without sin. That is the Blessed Virgin Mary and Jesus Christ, because Jesus is God. So God cannot go against himself, and he cannot no longer be divine, right? So even though Jesus incarnate and became fully man, he is still 100% divine because God cannot lose his divinity. And that's also another reason why, even though he was incarnating, he could not dwell in sin because he was still God. Okay, because he will always be God. So I hope that kind of helps you understand a little bit more about the Immaculate Conception. And if you guys have any questions about what I said in this video, the Immaculate Conception, about Marian Doctrine, stuff like that, feel free to ask me. I plan to do a little bit more videos on Marian Doctrine and stuff like that, because I like I said, I didn't grow up Catholic, and there was certain things I was like, what? So So yeah, now that I like completely understand it now, but before I was like, huh? So yeah, I would like to do more videos about that. And I hope you guys have an awesome day.